Cardiff Met 10, Pontypool 33 in this WRU Admiral Championship fixture. Final day of the season, as we've said already, for Cardiff Met. This really is the time to empty the tanks and close the gap.
Yeah, I'll be a bit disappointed with conceding there, but there's still a chance to play some good rugby. Yeah.
Matthews once again rounding the first effort of defence. Number 8 going for a little chip through himself. Hodgkins going to have to track back to tidy this one up for Cardiff Met, but will it bounce out completely? He dots down. Cardiff Met will get the goal line drop out, but that's a missed tackle coming in from Leon Antrobus, the Cardiff Met number 4, the second rower. Normally working really well in the championship alongside Gethin Cannon, but is this a physicality issue for the Cardiff Met side?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the Bass is normally a little bit better in those sort of situations. But yeah, as you said, him and Cannon are quite a good pairing in the row. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they're like next year as well.
Well, here comes Pat Lewis, try scorer Lewis with a bit of space, broken field. We know that fullbacks love that, and he's another dangerous one that could exploit it as the game goes on and those legs get more tired. But here come Pontypool once again through Peter Lloyd. Big carry now from the Pontypool hooker. He's made a good 15 metres there for the visitors. Matt Jarvis with the show and go. Almost breaking through the line and breaking through for another try. But the referee waving his hands in the air. He's seen something he doesn't like. It's a penalty.
Offside again, yeah.
Penalty for Pontypool. These offsides, Cardiff Met can't keep giving them away, Rory.
Yeah, they are. They're killing us at the moment. I don't know why he didn't just let them play on there. It's a bit boring, but we go back to another maul. So, yeah.
Well, that's where it's gone, straight into the corner there for Pontypool. Clearly just wanting to score as many tries as possible in this fixture. They're an unrelenting side to play against, really, in that sense, aren't they?
You've got to give them credit. They know what they want coming into these games. They want as many points on the board. They haven't taken one penalty yet for the Sticks, so yeah, fair play to them. They clearly back their set piece, and they're playing quite well.
Oh, that line out not functioning well for Pontypool though, and Carrington is the one that puts boot to ball, sends that one deep downfield. He's sprinting after it himself as the winger. He's going to put Pontypool under some pressure, but luckily Powell was able to tidy that one up quickly, and it's the Poolers that will come away with it. But Carrington's straight in there, stealing it back for Cardiff Met, and he wants to keep this attack alive, and he wants to get the ball going quickly. High tempo rugby now for Cardiff Met. What can they do with ball in hand? Hodgkins, this one's gone out the back. And there was Steph Crimp looking potentially for a 50-22. Instead, Nove calls the mark.
You see what he's trying to do there, but I think the option was to keep the ball in hands and try have a few phases. We haven't had the ball much yet. I think one of the Pontypool boys injured down there?
Yeah, we've got a little bit of an injury stoppage, and I can also add that Dion Smith, the 13, who was down much earlier in this game for a long period of time, he was taking a little bit of a while to limp back for Pontypool, so no doubt they'll also take the opportunity to take a look at him. And George Merritt's also receiving a bit of treatment, and he's had an unrelenting game so far at hooker because those scrums will not have been fun to be a part of, but he's still getting his way around the park as well.
Yeah, he's getting a bit of treatment on his neck, and I don't blame him. I'd be doing the same. He must be struggling out there, but no, he's doing really well. He's also had a good season, played a few champ games this year. So yeah, I think he'll be fairly happy with how it's gone so far. His darts have been good from the touchline. So yeah, I think he'll be fairly happy.
Who do you look to in this Cardiff Met side as like a key figure to try and get you back on track and functioning as Cardiff Met should do, really? Because obviously Ben Murphy is leading from the front, by example, as captain at the moment in this game. Yeah. But who else are some other key figures for Cardiff Met on this pitch right now?
I mean, Jamin being fly half is one of them. I'd say Ewan Guy, he knows his way around. He played Scotland 20s this year. Really good, like important figure in the team. He works really hard, and I think that reflects on a lot of the boys. Yeah, just a shame about his haircut, but well.
Not a fan of it, are you?
Nah, he has to change it. But yeah, a few dodgy trims going on around here. George Merritt's coming up to us now, and that's not one I'm a fan of either. Who are the other players? I'd say, yeah, the 9 and 10, Tez and Jamin. Tez we're playing quite a lot of bucks this year. I think a lot of boys will look up to him and look for answers on a rugby pitch, and rightly so, because yeah, he's quite a calm head on a rugby pitch, which is very helpful. And Arded as well. He's similar to you and Guy. It's just.
Well, we've got another replay going in there of what's happened to Matthew Powell, the winger for Pontypool. So hopefully it's nothing too serious for the winger. And he is hobbling off the pitch for Pontypool. Interesting now, though, for Pontypool. That means with that substitution coming on, they have no more backs on their bench to use because they went for a 4-1 split on that bench. That's a massive tactic at this level in rugby, isn't it, Rory? Because you can only name 20 players in your matchday squad.
Yeah, yeah, it's a risk. It's a risk that they would have known going into the game. But I mean, as you can see, their 4 packs are dominant. You can't really blame them for having more forwards on the bench. But yeah, if they get another injury in the back line, they could be in a bit of bother. It'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Well, the Mosa Nove not really making much ground for Pontypool there with that kick from inside their 22, and Cardiff Met have an opportunity to use that well-functioning line out. Good take at the back there from Leon Antrobus, and now Evan Sheldon with a big carry. We know how explosive.
Done. Thank you.
We know how explosive the number 6 can be in the loose, and as you rightly say, Rory, penalty conceded by Pontypool just outside their own 22. No advantage gained there, so we will come back for the penalty for Cardiff Met. And with potentially seconds left on the clock, do you go into the corner or do you take the 3? As actually Hodgkins is lining up the corner before you can even talk about it.
Yeah, you've got to go for it. Our line-out's been quite. Oh, has he kicked that? Stuck it in the 5. Yeah, he's done really well there.
You were worried for a second. You thought he'd overcooked it.
I thought he'd overcooked that. But yeah, line-out's been a good weapon for us, as I've said, this game. With you and Guy calling the shots there. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. We might try them all, but I'm not sure that'll be their go-to against this Pontypool pack.
Well, they have gone for 6 in the line, and they've got Sheldon standing at scrum half, so they do indeed set up a driving wall, but Sheldon breaks away and crashes over for the try. Evan Sheldon gets another score for Cardiff Met.
Yeah, really smart play there. I think they used a peel there when they shifted off to the side, and Evkev's just broken off. Be quite happy with that one there himself.
Good awareness. Good awareness from the blindside flanker to sit in the driving seat. Noticed that the shove was coming back from Pontypool very quickly, and he just went for it. He was supported by his fellow flanker, Ewan Guy, as well. So both of them, that's their knowledge together, isn't it? And their experience at Buck Super Rugby. Yeah,
I mean, as I said, Ewan Guy knows what he's doing. That would have been called just before going into that maul. So yeah, that's really smart rugby from Met there. They'll be pleased with that going into half-time, bit of confidence. Yeah, and as I said, once again, the line-out's been, I mean, the bus at the back, taking that in the air and getting down. Yeah, it was good set piece there from Met. We'll be chuffed for that.
Well, it's never over until the final whistle blows, and as you rightly put, that will certainly place some wind in the sails of Cardiff Met.
Yeah, I'll be happy with that. Hopefully Jamie can slot the 2 now.
Lovely kick there from Jamin Hodgkins to add the extra 2 points for Cardiff Met. It means the score on Kincoy campus is Cardiff Met 17, Pontypool 33 in this WRU Admiral Championship fixture. Final day of the season for the Archers, and they'll certainly be looking to go out with a bang and disrupt the Pontypool party.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long's left of the half, but quite an important score there for Met. Otherwise, the game really could have started to get away from us.
Well, this restart will be crucial. You've already identified it as something that Cardiff Met need to improve and improve straight away. So let's see what they do with this one. That's gone deep to Alex Terry. And straight away the scrum half looks for the clearance kick, looks for touch. And he gets Cardiff Met just outside their own 22.
Oh, no, the refs brought it back in.
Not happy with the lino?
Yeah, nah.
Here comes Pontypool's latest line-out effort, knocked on by the scrum half Morgan Lloyd. So that brings that one to a very quick finish, much to the joy of the Cardiff Met pack, but then they've just realised they've got to scrum down against Pontypool again, Rory.
Yeah, I think they might try run this one actually. Good field, well, not the best field position, but good opportunity here to let Crimpy and Gus have a go. And Troddy hasn't touched the ball all game actually, so Sam Trod at full-back, yeah, I'd be excited to see him get the ball in his hands.
Steph Grimp, an exciting prospect, obviously. He's just coming off the plane from San Diego, training with the Major League Rugby side, and the ball is out now. Hodgkins gets out to Patterson. Oh, big hit coming in there on Sam Trod, but Trod managing to ride that challenge well. Here comes Yallop, the big number 8, fighting his way through the tackle. Done really well there for the Archer side, and it slowed right down for them though, so Alex Terry puts boot to ball. He's got Carrington chasing after it. It's bounced just behind him and Parsons, and Ben Murphy is the one to tidy it up now for Cardiff Met. Terry with another big kick in behind. There is a lot of space, but covering across well is Nove, and he will take that, calling the mark for Pontypool. That was a good passage of play there for the Archers. Yeah,
that would be good, as you said, going into half-time now. I think they'll be happy with that. Maybe look to use the box kick a little bit more in the second half, as it's worked so well there. Bit unfortunate with that kick there from Tez, but you can see what he's trying to do. Just maybe not on the last play before half-time, but other than that, yeah, good play from that.
Well, there you go. Half-time score currently reads Cardiff Met 17, Pontypool 33 in this WRU Admiral Championship fixture. And you can see there the Cardiff Met side starting to come together, starting to gather their thoughts, because they ended that first half a lot better than the way they played most of that first half. Yeah,
they'll be happy with the way they finished there. They'll have a chance now for the coaches to have a word, get their thoughts in. But I reckon they'll be saying the exits and the discipline are what's killing us at the moment. And if we sort that out, we might have a chance here.
You see Pontypool retreating to the shade as well, right at the far end of the Rugby 1 pitch here on Kincoy campus. The weather is going to be a big factor now, because it's really going to test the fitness of both sides, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Not used to the sun on Kincoy, so us Met boys won't be used to it, and I'm not sure the Pontypool boys will be either. They last time we played there, it was pouring down the rain, so yeah.
Well, they'll be taking on fluids, and they'll be taking on words of advice. And what would be some of your words of wisdom, perhaps, Rory, going into the second half? Cardiff Met aren't dead and buried just yet. There is still a whole half of rugby to play, and you can see that the Pontypool fans aren't exactly, they don't look very happy. They look a bit concerned about that end of the first half from Cardiff Met.
I think they're just used to winning so much that these sort of things don't faze them. Yeah, they'll be happy, the fans, but I think for Met, the main 2 points would be discipline, and then just exiting off the restarts is killing us at the moment. I think if we sort that out and we get a good few line-outs, get a bit of field position, yeah, give us a good chance to put some points on the board. But yeah, Pontypool, we've got to try to stay away from their scrum as well. Maybe tighten things up, reduce the knock-ons, to help reduce the knock-ons, that is. But yeah, as you can see, they're all in the shade. I don't blame them as well.
Well, talk to me about that Pontypool team, because I know that you know the Archers side well. We both know Cardiff Met well, but there's been a lot of really good players. Who stood out for you potentially in that Pontypool side? Because for me personally, I'm looking at Scott Matthews. The captain is really leading from the front at the moment. Every time he seems to carry, he's making a good significant amount of metres, which would be great for his stats come the end of the season. But it's also great for the Poolers for the rest of this game.
Yeah, I think he's setting the tone quite well. Every carry he gets a bit of front foot ball, it just puts Pontypool on the front foot, and Met I find it quite hard to deal with. I mean, physically as well, the whole team is just a tad bit more physical so far. Maybe in the last 20 minutes, Met might shine a little bit more, because maybe they'll be a little bit fitter than the Pontypool boys. But yeah, at the moment, the number 8 is carrying quite hard, and he's setting the tone for Pontypool. He's doing really well for them.
You can see Nick Fish as well there, one of the coaches for Cardiff Met's championship effort and Bucks 2 efforts this year so far. He's really been getting the boys to lead from the front themselves, and you can see there he's initiating a lot of conversation within the pack itself, and he was very positive ahead of this game as well about his chances. So hopefully they can continue that going into the second half, Rory.
Yeah. As you can see there, they're splitting their forwards, backs. Forwards will be having a word, but a lot of it is player-led. We're the ones out there, so yeah, focus on what we're doing.
Well, let's see if we can take a look at some of the replays from that first half now. And here comes Pontypool's first try of the game there. You can see Sam Cochrane, acres of space. As a prop, you think you're all of a sudden a kid in a candy store with that sort of open field.
I'm not sure he ran that line in front of him, but he held 2 players there, and he's done well. And here we can just see great interception by Josh. yeah, as I said, he'll be chuffed with that.
He's got some gas.
Yeah, serious gas. He's great in the air as well, which is a massive asset for any back three player.
Well, here's another good Pontypool score coming in there from Adam Stratton. He's been everywhere, really, the number 7. That Pontypool back row firing on all cylinders in the first half, and this another example of the threat that Pontypool pack really bring to any sort of fixture, because this is Peter Lloyd bumbling over for a really good score for Pontypool at the driving maul.
Yeah, there's not too much we can do with that. And the try just before is, again, they just seem to be a little bit more physical when it gets into that the goal zone, the 22. As you can see there, dominant carries every time. Morgan Lloyd's getting the ball out quite quickly as well. This is a great ball from the 10.
This is the lovely missed pass that you were talking about, wasn't it?
He's clearly identified that Met have rushed up on the outside, and then one pass has taken 2 or 3 of our players out and scored as a result of it. Pontypool will be quite happy with that try there.
Well, they'll be quite happy pretty much with all of them they've scored, but especially this one.
This one. You can see Gus 13. We're numbers down because of a slow fold, and he's had to rush up and try be a nuisance, and obviously his hard position defend in 13, and he's just been caught out there. But yeah, as I said, not too much you can do about that. And this one here again is just quick, hard lines, quick ball. Not too much Met can do. We got to try to slow the ball down at the breakdown. That's the main issue. This
is a nice one to watch, though. Cardiff Met scoring another try. It's a great peel and go from Evan Sheldon, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd be really happy with that. The forward pack, the second rows, the bus and cannon, yeah, they'll be chuffed with that. That'll be them and you and Guy calling that. Yeah, as I say, give us confidence going into the second half, knowing that they've got that in the locker if they need to bring it out.
Well, here we go now for the kickoff of the second half. You can see there, Rhys Priestland and Steph Davis, they've come down to watch. It's nice to see that players like that come down to support the Archers.
I mean, that just shows, I reckon he's here to watch the Met, but I think it also shows how big of a team Pontypool are. They attract so many people to come watch.
Well, here we go. Josh Carrington, Met's first big carry of the second half. Offload gets away well, and fighting through the tackles desperately with Sam Trod. And Met have made some half-time changes, so you can see that they have rung in the substitution. So Zach Roberts and Chris Johnson are both on. And that's both backs replacements used very early in the second half.
Yeah, you can see a bit of tempo there, which is nice to see. Chucking the ball about. First time Troddy's got the ball, and first time Josh Carrington's got the ball with a bit of space, and we know how dangerous he is. I think Crimpy's moved to 10. Who else has come on? Yeah, Crimpy's moved to 10, and Chris Johnson's come on at 13, I reckon. Gus has moved to 12. So yeah, change up in the back line, and hopefully we chuck the ball about a little bit more in the second half.
We've also been introduced to current Dragons Academy member Jordan Morris in the front rower. Built like an athlete, I've been told. Really strong presence in the club.
Freak in nature. You don't want to be gymming with him because it embarrass you a little bit. But that might just be me, to be fair. He's an absolute tank.
You're very different positions, though.
Yeah, yeah. No, he works really hard as well. Sometimes when you're watching him, you don't realise he's a prop because he's that athletic and agile.
Well, here come Cardiff Met. The line-out didn't function well, but they managed to keep possession thanks to the quick thinking of Yallop. And Jordan Morris just supporting Evan Sheldon on his latest carry there. You can already see the impact that Zach Roberts is having, wanting to get this game quickly underway. And another strong carry from Chris Johnson, making his presence known on the pitch within the first few minutes of the second half. Now, Ben Murphy, the captain, making a big carry, big territory gain into the 22, but ultimately he was holding on the floor because Pontypool went to go and make the turnover, and sadly Cardiff Met will forfeit possession.
Yeah, I think both teams will be happy there. I think Met will be happy. They've stringed quite a few faces together, getting somewhere. I think maybe they can look to tip the ball on as well a little bit more, stress the defence, but yeah, great turnover. I think that's number 5 for Pontypool. Really, really good turnover there.
Well, that's not worked out for Cardiff Met. Josh Carrington was desperately jumping off the pitch, whacking it back with his hands. Not quite working out for the Cardiff Met winger, but really good to see that that's his drive in this second half.
Yeah, you can see what he's trying to do there. It's a bit unlucky. I think Pontypool will be happy with their positioning now. Yeah, good set piece here.
Well, it's functioned really well for them. And good quick thinking from Adam Stratton, who was standing in there at number 9. Caught slightly off guard the open side flanker, but they've kept possession. Now taking it right up to the line, Alex Gray there, stepping in at first receiver, the second row. Again, making meters. And a penalty conceded now by Cardiff Met. Ewan Guy could find himself in a bit of trouble here because that's quite a cynical foul to give away.
Yeah, I think he might be on his last warning here. He doesn't look too happy about it, but I don't know why. He was pretty stupid. Yeah, Pontypool will be happy with that, easy. I think they'll go, well, we know they're going to go to the corner.
Well, he is desperately pleading his case to the referee, but I think we're going to see the first card.
Has he got the yellow card? Has he got it out?
He's got his little book out.
Yeah,
I can tell you he's not writing his next novel. He's probably writing down the open side flanker's name in his book.
Yeah, probably booking an appointment for the barbers, hopefully.
Well, there he goes with a yellow card. I'm not sure about the barber appointment, but that means Ewan Guy is going to be off the park for 10 minutes. Cardiff Met down to 14, and they are trailing by more than 14 at the moment. So, big blow for the Cardiff Met Archers side.
Yeah, big time. Ewan Guy will be a massive miss there. Oh, that's a great nudge.
Di Langdon, he's come on and he's instantly making an impact for Pontypool. He's pulling all the strings. They've decided to rest members of their backline that potentially need to.
I think they moved.
They've moved people. They've moved people around quite tactically, haven't they?
To fullback, I think, and they moved the fullback to the wing.
Everyone's done a big switcheroo on you, Rory, just as you were getting comfortable.
But obviously got a versatile backline, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the fly-off goes at Jarvis goes at fullback now.
Well, they've got another driving maul going. Scott Matthews at the back with ball in hand and crashing over for Pontypool.
Yeah, it's a great try.
Big try for Pontypool. Just as Cardiff Met looked to be starting the second half, nice and strong, Pontypool instantly responds by crashing over in the far side. And they extend their lead even further in the first minute of Cardiff Met being down to 14.
Yeah, I mean, they know what they're good at, Pontypool, clearly. I think how many have they scored now? Four maybe, driving mauls. But, yeah, really impressive from them.
Certainly feels like a few, too.
Yeah, it does feel like a few. Yeah, they know what they're doing there. They're clearly quite drilled in that department, so, yeah, hats off to them.
How do you not let your head drop, though, as a Cardiff Met player right now? We're just watching Matthew Jarvis line up this kick.
Yeah.
We'll potentially see it go over, but how do you...
It is tough. It is tough, especially when if you're getting physically battered as well. It can be tough. But I think the Met boys are holding off quite well. We've still got a chance to play some good rugby. Last game of the season for us boys as well. So, and you always got to play for a bit of pride as well. Yeah, they're all. Everyone in the team will be second or first years as well. So everyone will be putting their hands up for next year's spot. So I doubt we'll see a drop off from any of the Met boys now.
Well, everyone should still feel as though they are in this game and hold their head high of what they've been able to achieve so far in this fixture. Those 2 points not being added. But we are back underway and looking to make a big carry straight from the off was Nove, but here come Pontypool from the back. Langdon, he's hoofed this one downfield and it's bounced really awkwardly in front of Yollop. And Cardiff Met are going to look to spread this one wide, but that's been charged down, so everyone's onside, and almost Zach Roberts was the one to pounce on it there for the Archers.
Yeah, that was unlucky, that. Good rugby knowledge there from Zach. Realised he's not offside when they touched the ball, so yeah, got quite unlucky there.
Really high kick coming in from Langdon there. That's going to challenge Cardiff Met, but taken really strongly by Sam Trod.
He's off his feet there.
And the referee's seen it as well. Don't you worry, Rory.
Yeah,
He's tuned into you. You're both in sync now in this second half.
Yeah.
And Cardiff Met will have a good opportunity to get back inside Pontypool territory.
Yeah, I was surprised Pontypool aren't chucking the ball around a little bit more. They've got quite a dangerous back line, and they seem to be kicking it quite a bit. And with the advantage they've got with the lead, yeah, I'd like to see them throw the ball around a little bit more.
Right, you can see Jordan Morris just walking over to George Merritt now to let him know what the plan of attack is.
Yeah, I reckon will either be a peel here or they'll look to get the ball out in the backs, just because they're obviously missing you and Guy at the moment on the bench.
Well, let's see what the Archers can do with this position.
I think the ball's going to go to Evkev here.
Good throw, but before a maul can be set up, Pontypool bring that one down. So before Cardiff Met can even think about getting it into the back line, it's Sam Cochrane again over the top, stealing it for Pontypool.
Yeah, he's done well there. Met will be disappointed with that there.
Causing all sorts of problems at the moment, Pontypool, for Cardiff Met's pack, just when they think they're stringing a good series of plays together.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's not ideal that you and Guy's not able to be on the pitch and help with the lineouts, but
good knowledge of the pitch there from Sam Trotter as well, because he knew where the touchline was and he let that one bounce and it stayed in play.
It's not rolling. Stayed
in play for Cardiff Met.
Yeah, no, yeah, Troy's done really well there. Kept the ball alive, and great carry from Josh as well.
Yollop making some big gains. Good offload to Roberts. Roberts with another good offload. George Merritt, his first big dominant carry in this game. And it's come at a crucial time for the hooker as well. Ben Murphy out the back. And they've got that one out wide. Chris Johnson now on this near side, but we've had to stop because Liam Antrobus is just making sure that his details are known by Kelvin Williams. They're going in for a little bit of a hug, and the referee bringing a stop to the game.
Not much going on there. I don't know if we need to stop the game there. Met had a bit of go forward as well, but
I guess he's putting his stamp on the game, isn't he? Because we don't want to see that in rugby. We want to see actual rugby being played.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think he'll have a tell enough now. I think that'll just be it. Well, we'll see. Now we'll have a scrum down, won't we?
We will.
Pontypool won't be too gutted about that.
It's a shake of the hands.
Yeah, good to see, isn't it?
A nod of the head, and we'll get back underway with some actual rugby.
Yeah. Oh, I think it might. Is it a pen? Yeah, I think Cardiff Met might have a penalty. Yeah. Not sure.
Well, he's in tune with you. Remember, Rory. He was hearing you talking about all those players jumping over the top of the ball, and so rightly so, Cardiff Met have got a penalty, and Steph Crimp has found touch. He's done really well there as well. The 12.
Yeah.
Another fresher that also came in the Buck Super Rugby quarter-final. That was a big game for Met, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did really well. I think he's more of a 10 than a 12. I think he'll say that himself. So he's probably happy to be playing the second half now at 10. But yeah, in the quarterfinals, he had a great game. Obviously fell just short of extra in the last minute, but yeah, I think he's put his hand up for next year quite well.
Well, and that latest driving maul was brought down before it even hit second gear by Pontypool, and they brought it down legally, so play still continuing. Cardiff Met doing really well to retain possession despite the physicality of this Pontypool defence at the moment. And breaking through the middle, potentially Antrobus, offload to Roberts, diving over for the score is Zach Roberts. Great really offload from the second row to the replacement scrum half. That's another really good try from Cardiff Met.
Yeah, I couldn't quite see what happened there, but I think the bus has picked that up through the breakdown, and Zach's doing what every 9 should be doing, and on the shoulder. Great finish there. Be chuffed for that as well.
I mean, to score against Pontypool at any stage of the game is quite a feat, but for Met to do it now with 14 on the pitch, that really needs to be celebrated. You can see another great angle of the try being scored.
Yeah, great offload there as well. Coaches will be happy with that sort of rugby. I think Liam Antrobus will be happy with that as well.
Are you calling him the Bus?
Yeah, his nickname is the Bus. We got Cannon for Geth as well. Cannon and the Bus in the row. So yeah,
Cannon and the Bus in the row. Wow. If anyone else read that on the team sheet, they'd be pretty scared.
Yeah.
Well, here comes Crimp's effort at the sticks. And that one deemed successful for the extra 2 points. So he closes the gap further between Cardiff Met and Pontypool. So the score now reads Cardiff Met 24, Pontypool 38 in the WRU Admiral Championship fixture here on Kincoy Campus's Rugby 1 pitch. Some more changes ringed in as well, Rory. Matt Peters is on the pitch for Cardiff Met.
Is he swap with George Merritt in the row, then yeah. I'll be interested to see how he goes in the scrums.
How do you grade this kickoff return so far as we see Evan Sheldon make another big carry forwards for Cardiff Met?
Looks like we're going to try to play some rugby here. get Troddy and Josh on the ball.
And we're out wide now with ball in hand and working back infield is Sam Trod. Zach Roberts has gone digging. He's gone to the blind side. Carrying forwards now. There's a big collision coming in on the 13, Gus Patterson, but ultimately forced out into touch by the Pooler defence. And so Pontypool will have the put in at the line out.
Yeah, I think Met will be happy with that. Line out on the halfway for Pontypool is not the worst outcome. We've tried to have a go there. Yeah, big collision there on the touchline with Gus there.
Well, he rode it well. He's done well with it because he's straight back out in that defensive effort now for Cardiff Met. Frantic defence when it comes to the line out for the Archers because he's now out in the back with the captain for Pontypool, Scott Matthews. It's the first time I've probably not seen him break the gain line, and instead it falls to Peter Lloyd to potentially do that for Pontypool, but they're working with quick ball and they're working quickly out to those wide channels. Shot from Evan Sheldon there on Di Langdon.
Forward, surely. Yeah, great tackle by Kev. That's what he's known for. He's a very physical player. And Jordan as well.
Wasn't exactly the most powerful carry there from Sam Cochran, the loose head, in the most recent passage of play. So tired legs already starting to play into it, and tired minds as well, because that pass found no one there, and tidying up for Pontypool is Pat Lewis.
Yeah, the game's just opening up a little bit. A little bit more space around the fringes. And a few more drop balls.
Well, Langdon's looking to move that ball wide once again. Matthews gets a really good offload away, and just as Alex Gray thought he was away, he was brought down very quickly by Chris Johnson. But, well, just as I say, Pontypool's attack very much still alive. They knock it on the floor, so it's going to be a scrum down to Cardiff Met. That's a good D-set.
Yeah, I think that was a great cover tackle from Chris Johnson then, and then I think if we'll see Sam Trod makes the cover tackle after the offload. Yeah, he's done well there. You just got to firm those ones. Yeah, he's really put his body on the line there, Sam Trod, so yeah, the boys will be happy with that.
Those are the ones you wake up in the morning with a really sore shoulder wondering, why do I hurt so much? Yeah, and that's exactly the reason why Ewan Guy, more importantly, is back on for Cardiff Met. They've restored to 15.
Yeah.
So
I think
ultimately not a
period, yeah, a good period for Met there. Down to 14 and close the score down. So yeah, we've still got a chance. Get a try soon and make for an interesting last 10-15 minutes.
Well, the gap is 14 points, and potentially if you score a converted try, do you back yourselves really to challenge for the win? As we see, unfortunately, Pontypool winning a scrum penalty. Unfortunately, from an Archer's perspective, winning a scrum penalty. If you're a Pontypool fan, that's great news for your visiting side, who have really shown their dominance when it comes to set pieces today.
Yeah, I think it's something we expect when we play against Pontypool. It's just the tough thing is that there's not too much you can do about it. You can only get the ball in in and out so quickly, and the shoves on before the ball's even in there. So yeah.
Unfortunate passage of play there for Cardiff Met, but it's now in the hands of the Poolers, 5 metres out from the Met try line, and Gethin Cannon looks like he's about to be shot up into the air. Is that the wrong choice, really, Rory? He stayed down though. He stayed down.
Yeah, I mean, I think they tried to sack that there with Alex Long there, but
well, the sack's not worked because rumbling forwards and rumbling over for Pontypool. Peter Lloyd once again. The hooker crashes over for the visitors, and he'll re-extend the lead once again.
Yeah, not too much the Met boys can do about that. It's a great move from Pontypool. Yeah, it's clearly been a weapon for them this game, and they'll be happy with that. You can see what Met trying to do there, but it just hasn't quite come off for us.
Trust you, it was initially trying to collapse that maul. There was Alex Long who was really trying to force the Pontypool maul effort to stop before it even could get going. But the rest of the pack didn't seem to get the memo, Roy, because some people going high, some people going low. Is that a bit of miscommunication?
Yeah, maybe on different wavelengths there, but as I said, there's so much going on in those sort of situations. It's quite tough for the defence.
Big applause for the Pontypool side from their travelling support as they retreat back into their own half, ready for the kick restart. And Matthew Jarvis will line this up for another 2 points for the Pontypool side.
Yeah, again, quite a tally today, isn't he, Jarvis? As I say, he's a great player. He's one player we always look out for when we play against them. Pulls the strings quite well. So yeah.
Well, and there's the extra 2 for Pontypool. It means the score is now Cardiff Met 24, Pontypool 45 in the WRU Admiral Championship fixture here on Kincoid campus. But as we've already said time and time again in this game, Rory, it's never over until the final whistle is blown.
Yeah, I mean, there's been quite a few games like that on Kincoid this year and last year, in fact. But yeah, I think the boys just got to stay in it as much as they can now. Try string together some nice rugby. That's a great restart from Crimpy. We'll be happy with that.
Steph Crimp with a huge kick downfield, and that really asked some questions of Scott Matthews, but he's straight away asking questions of the Cardiff Met defence and their physicality in this second half, because he was strolling through it in the first.
Yeah, I'll be happy with the exits this half. I just think the scrums and the mauls have been too much.
Good clearance kick from Dyer Langdon there for the Pontypool side. So they're out of their own 22, but they're not out of their own half. They still remain inside their own half, and this could be a good moment for Cardiff Met to claim the ball at the line out and use that back line that you've been trying to tell them to do all game.
Yeah, I think a good position here for Met. I think we'll hit it up in the middle and then try to get around the corner and use the backs, get Chris on the ball, but we've got to hit the line out first. So here we go.
That one's not worked out for Cardiff Met. Gethin Cannon obviously the target at the back, and now Pontypool come away with it really well through Dion Smith. One more pass out wide to Pat Lewis. Lewis surely in the corner. Last gasp tackle from Josh Carrington wasn't enough. But Pontypool are over yet again here at Kincoid campus, and it's Pat Lewis, the danger man. He's come across from fullback to wing, and he's slid in at the corner.
Yeah, that's some really good rugby there. The transition there from Pontypool is... Coaches, I'm sure their coaches will be pleased with that. Great pass there as well. Two missed passes, takes out our players. Great show and go. Not much Chris and Josh can do there. I'll be a bit gutted of that.
Josh won't want to watch that one back in analysis,
yeah,
really,
when
will
it's to be fair, when it's a 3v2 or 2v1 like that, you're sort of stuck in two minds. He's got to make a decision. He got caught there. So you won't be too happy with that, but. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the 50 points for Pontypool feels a bit harsh, but yeah, they have played some really good rugby as we've just seen there.
Well, they are coming off the back of a 35-0 win against Beddai in the last round in the championship, and actually for Cardiff Met to even finish this game with more than 0, that's impressive for a university side. Yeah,
I think Pontypool are quite clearly the best team in the league, and it's going to be really interesting to see how they do in. That's a great nudge.
Good kick from Matthew Jarvis. 2 more points added to the good for Pontypool. And so the score at Kincoid campus now reads Cardiff Met 24, Pontypool 52. And this is really turning into a bit of a party for Pontypool and their travelling fans.
Yeah, as I said, they're definitely the best team in the league at the moment. Unbeaten all season. So it'll be interesting to see how they do in the Prem next year. I know the system's changing a bit with the leagues, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Pontypool go in the higher leagues.
So Adam Stratton's now left the field of play for Pontypool. The open side flank has had a fantastic game at 7, and it brings on Callum Davis for his 50th cap for Pontypool. So a fantastic achievement for that club stalwart, and it certainly won't be the last. He's going to keep trucking forward well into the 60-70 cap range, especially, as you rightly say, with Pontypool playing in the Premiership next season. Every member of that side will want to be involved.
Yeah, I think a lot of the boys, their players now, they'll be thinking about that going into these last few games, going into pre-season. Knowing that they've got an exciting season ahead of them next year, and it's rightly deserved because they've dominated the champ the last few years, and they're such a big club, such a big fan base. I think a lot of people will be happy to see them doing quite well.
Good show and go there from Ben Parsons, but that's the last thing that he'll want to do is do a show and go straight into a forward pack like Pontypool's. But ball still with Cardiff Met, and let's see what they can do with it now. Evan Sheldon, another big carry from the blindside flanker. His support doing well to make sure that Cardiff Met can keep the ball, but it's slow. Do you want him to go quick?
Yeah, I think a lot of the people would encourage that, but Pontypool know what they're doing. They've been about for a while. They do the tricks and chase, slow the ball down there. Yeah, they're just going to try to see the game out now, rightly so.
Well, Steph Crimp is searching for the corner.
Good nudge.
He does really well. Cardiff Met are inside the 22 now. Driving maul out in the backs. Where do you want it to go? They've got to keep the ball first.
Out in the back. I've seen too many mauls today. It's boring me. I'd rather see it go out in the backs. But yeah, I think using Evan Sheldon off a line out's a really big threat for us. It'll be interesting if we use him here now.
Well, here come Cardiff Met, claimed well by the bus. And coming in like a bus was Evan Sheldon there. Fantastic running line from the blindside flanker. Good support from Cardiff Met, but it is slow ball nonetheless. And now with his first big carry, Jordan Morris. Good work here from Cardiff Met, knocking on the door and breaking through the door of the Pontypool 22-metre line, but slowed down once again by the visitors. Plenty of screaming going around from either side. Cardiff Met want it out, and Pontypool want to fly up in defence, and they do. Carrington does really well to get the offload from Steph Crimp, but ultimately knocks it on as he's looking for an offload of his own. And that brings the Cardiff Met attack to an end once again. Rory, you're holding your arms in the air with frustration.
It's just unlucky. I think Crimpy's done really a great carry there, as we see now from Evan Sheldon. He's so good at that, coming off the back of a line out. I just thought we were playing good rugby there. It's just quite unfortunate we dropped the ball. But yeah, good from Crimpy there at fly half.
And Peter Lloyd's just left the field of play now for Pontypool as we take a look at the most recent patch of play from Cardiff Met still. This was really good from the Archers. They looked to almost string together a really nice passage of play, but just in those crucial moments, a little error, a tiny error, but it's going to have a big difference.
Yeah, I think just done one too many there, one too many offloads.
Unrelenting scrum pressure from Pontypool, and that pass almost went into the hands of Cardiff Met, but instead into the hands of Duan Thomas it went. And he's hacked that forwards now, potentially for Pat Lewis to claim, but instead Chris Johnson managed to get onto it for Cardiff Met, but he's got 4 Pontypool players around him and only 2 with him from a Cardiff Met standpoint, but more have been able to retreat back, and can they keep a hold of this ball, the Archers? Zach Roberts has looked to play it quickly, as with Ewan Guy, and this is surely a moment now where Cardiff Met need to kick it out, not play out.
Yeah, Crimpy's just sat in the pocket. He'll get the ball off the pitch. Oh, no, he won't.
Oh, it's not found touch.
Oh, yes, he will.
It's bounced over the head of Davis.
No, he won't.
On his 50th cap, and he'll just round the 15-metre line. He's eyeing up where he's going to run into, and he takes that ball forward now. Good delayed pass, but just being bundled out into touch. Dion Smith.
Yeah, I think you'll be really happy with that there, Matt. From where we were on our own try line, now got a line out on just outside the 22. Yeah, we chuff for that.
Smith limping back once again in defence. He's not happy with that ankle. Already got a lot of strapping on it. Yeah. And as I said already, Pontypool have used their backs replacement, and they've already had to reshuffle their back line. So, I don't know. As a coach, do you potentially drop a back rower into the back line?
I think so. I mean, they've got a few games remaining, so they've got to look at it from that perspective as well. Yeah, in a game like this as well, you wouldn't want to get someone getting injured. We'll see what Met can do here now.
Well, it's well claimed by Gethin Cannon at the line out once again, and that's a big boot going in from Steph Crimp, and
great nudge.
Matt Jarvis is on the ball now for Pontypool, and he does a little dink over the top of the defence, but Evan Sheldon scoops it up. Sheldon potentially with a bit of space. Offload to floor. Went through the hands of Parsons. And it's gone out now, into touch. And that's a real frantic passage of play for Cardiff Met, but it didn't need to be.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice little shot there, sorry, of Kelvin Williams with his son, I suspect.
Yeah, I'd assume that's his son as well. They look identical with the ginger hair. Yeah, he'll be loving it today as well, watching his dad play.
Well, because the Tightheads had a really good game today for Pontypool as the only front row replacement.
Yeah, I'm sure we played him on earlier on the season. He was the same, so he must have had a really good season for Pontypool. And yeah, their front row is massive for them as a club. They're quite known for just having a strong pack, and he's clearly at the forefront of it all. So yeah.
Well, that line out not working for Pontypool. Instead, Ewan Guy comes away with it at the back, and he fancies himself as a bit of a Reece Priestland. Yeah. And with the fly-off watching in the stands, he sends that one out along the floor. I'm not sure that's the same as Reece Priestland, but a good effort from the open
see
side.
What he's trying to do there, trying to stick it in the corner, but I'm not sure he'll be trying that one again.
I think he'll be giving him a bit of jip for that after the game, maybe, Rory.
I'll be doing that. Oh, surely that's not straight.
See, look, he's on your wavelength again, Rory. This is working out really well for you. And there he is again, Reece Priestland. Probably actually, there you go, he's just thinking about Ewan Guy's most recent kick. I mean,
That's
thinking,
probably why he looks so disappointed.
Or potentially, do you think he's eyeing up a move to Pontypool maybe?
No,
Premiership rugby next season?
He might do a Masters at Met or something, come play at Met for a year.
I think that's a great idea.
I reckon he should do that.
Buck Super Rugby, Reece Priestland. You've heard it here first. Well, here come Cardiff Met. That's another onslaught from the Pontypool pack, and it's out now with Patterson. Good run forward from the 13, but ultimately spilt on the floor. Oh, referee deeming it a knock-on from the turnover by Pontypool, and you can see the frustration there straight away from Mike Herbert, the blind side for Pontypool, and we're going to get restarted with the Cardiff Met scrum.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the right call, but oh well, we'll take it.
We've got a replay of it here. Let's see if we can watch out.
Yeah, maybe that is actually. I thought Gus had lost the ball.
It was Duane Thomas with the knock-on actually for Pontypool.
Yeah,
so
it's in the rip and it's just gone forward. Quite unfortunate. He's actually done quite well there.
Backs up the point that the referee is the one with the training and in the right position, I guess.
Yeah,
Rory,
exactly.
not us.
I'll just watch.
Well, we've got a bit of an extended stoppage here because there is a Cardiff Met player down at the moment receiving some treatment. And Josh Carrington's just standing over it, taking in some water, and he'll definitely be taking in a lot of fluid and a lot of air because there's a lot being asked of him in this second half. They've definitely tried to work him onto the ball more.
Yeah, it's not easy playing 80 minutes of champ against such a good team like Pontypool. So yeah, he's done well to stay on the pitch. But he is hobbling about a bit, to be fair. I'm not sure who else. I think we got Alex Terry and Jamin on the bench. I'm not sure Tez would be too chuffed about coming on the wing there. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who comes on now.
Well, we're ringing in some more changes now. Cardiff Met, Ben Murphy has gone off. Tom Pritchard's back on.
Jamin, it looks like, bringing the fly half back on. Put him at full back.
Gosh, you're in sync with the referee and Danny Milton. This is what are the lottery numbers tonight, Rory? Hit me. Who's going to win Eurovision?
Might have to buy a scratch card or two. There's a good opportunity here though to run a nice set piece. Just got to get this ball out of it.
Got to get it out quickly as well. Free kick.
Just tap it.
Zach Roberts has heard you. He's gone quickly. It's out now with Crimp. He's invited Cardiff Met to play wide and play strong, and Carrington looked to get a strong run going, but Nove brings him down once again. The Pontypool winger doing really well in defence there. Evan Shelder running into his own player, but we are going to get a Cardiff Met penalty. Offside against Pontypool.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
And Crimp's just eyeing up his options. Going to send that one into the corner because coming across the pitch now, you'll see on your screen Matt Peters wearing the number 16. So the hooker will be going over to take this line out for Cardiff Met.
Yeah, I think Crimpy would have liked to stuck that closer to the 5 metre line. I don't think we'll be able to maul him over from here. But interesting though, because we might have to chuck the ball out to the backs a little bit, or send Evan Sheldon up again because his carries today have been really good.
He's known for being an explosive ball carrier, isn't he? Is he a bit of a nuisance in training to train against?
Yeah, he's one of those blokes who just goes full bosh all the time. But yeah, it's nice to play with him on a Wednesday though. It does help when he's such a strong carrier. Oh, here we go.
Well, Pontypool turn that one over at the line out, but it's back with Hodgkins. So what can Jamin Hodgkins do with a bit of space? He was desperately looking for a back to make a run off him, but he decides to make the run himself. And will this ball come back for Cardiff Met? It has. So Zach Roberts feeding that out into the back line. Good carry there from Jordan Morris. Really good carry from the Dragons Academy man.
Yeah, the speed of ball is just too slow, and as you see there, they've got a turnover, and the fans are loving it. Gutting that.
Really unlucky there. The Wales under-19 giving away a penalty as he takes that ball in.
Yeah, I think the speed of ball is killing us. Zach Roberts struggling to get the ball out of the breakdown. It just seems a bit scrappy, and it just means we can't get any go forward on the Pontypool defence.
What is it exactly that Pontypool will be doing to slow down that ball? Because it looks like we're going to get another extended period of stoppage. So talk to me in a bit more of an analysis point of view.
Double tackle, so stop the momentum of the player. Holding the players in the ruck, lying on the player as much as they can. You got to play the ref a little bit, as much as you can get away with it without conceding pens. And Pontypool clearly are very good at it. I think we're seeing the replay here now of
Well, this is Scott
Great
Matthews.
Carry, yeah, great carry.
He's been a star man for Pontypool today.
Great offload as well.
Ruthless at these restarts. Here's another view of it again.
Good footwork for number 8 as well.
We're talking about all number 8s have great footwork.
Yeah,
Reece Pearson will tell you all about his number 8, Talupe Faletau. But
yeah, serious player.
But instead, we're talking now about Pontypool
wow.
being back inside Cardiff Met's 22, back with possession at the line-out, and this could be another one where they back themselves to score from a rolling ball.
Yeah, this fly-off who's come on for Pontypool is quite a good player. He's got a cultured left foot. He stuck it into the 22 once again and put Met under pressure. So, yeah, quite a nice weapon, I assume that is, having him on the bench and bringing him on.
Well, Di Langdon's already got 65 points to his name this season. The line-out not working well, so Ewan Guy lines him up. That was quite a high hit coming in from the Pontypool number 20.
Oh, it's got to go. No.
So the knock-on at a crucial moment. Again, a really small mistake, a small error to make, but big consequences, Rory.
It's just unfortunate. You can see what they're trying to do. It's a bit frantic, though, still. Transition is such a good time to attack. They're just trying to do too much with it. Yeah, I just seen the carry there from you and Guy. Yeah, big collision that. And yeah, Steph just overran his line a little bit, gone past the ball.
Was it maybe also looking up at the Pontypool onslaught in defence rather than the ball coming towards him?
Not something you want to be looking at, to be fair.
I'm not sure any of us would want to look at that.
Yeah. There we go, another scrum.
Well, that's holding a little bit more firm, but then Pontypool getting the subsequent drive on, and so they will come away with it now. They've gone to the blind side, and that's Pat Lewis now biting back infield because he's seen a bit of space. Oh, but he's met ferociously by Jordan Morris. Morris doing really well there to stop the Pontypool attack, and now Langdon cutting back inside. Ball slowing up for Pontypool a little bit. That's not going to help their cause because they like the quick ball, as we see Callum Davis carry that forward now for the Poolers. Alex Gray once again and reaching for the score.
Good finish.
Good try from Mike Herbert there for the Pontypool team. That's another score to take them further out of reach of the Cardiff Met University team.
Yeah, I think Jarvis is a bit gutted he didn't get the ball out the back there. I think the forwards are having all the glory today. But yeah, I'd like to see them chuck a ball around a little bit more rather than one-off carries, but they're so efficient at it. Why would they stop doing it?
Exactly, it's working, isn't it? You can see it straight away there. Mike Herbert saw an opportunity with no one standing at those bodyguard positions, those 1 and 2 channels that we talk about in rugby so often. Matt Jarvis, of course, adding the extra 2 points, and Pontypool obviously capitalising on a retreating Cardiff Met defence.
Yeah, and the extras as well. He's clearly clinical on the tee, and has quite a good tally this year. So it'll be interesting how he goes next year as well in the Prem. I think he'll be quite an important figure for them.
We don't have long left in this fixture, so Rory, in a second you're going to have to start thinking about some player of the match nominations, but as we see the ball go out into touch, talk to me about some people who've really stood out for you from a Pontypool and Cardiff Met perspective.
Well, I mean, the whole Pontypool front row have been absolute class. Yeah, the 2 props specifically. I think Jarvis, he's at fullback now, but he's at 10. He's thrown a couple of really nice passes today. Controlled the game quite well. Morgan Lloyd's had a good game, getting the ball out of the breakdown really quickly as well. I'd say for Matt, I think Josh has looked lively when he's got the ball. Kev, here we go, another big carry from him. But look at that, there's 3 of them slowing the ball down, probably be a pen turnover.
Well, it's not a pen, it is a turnover for Pontypool, so they will break away with it. Herbert the try scorer. Can they switch from defence into attack as quickly as they have been able to do all game? And Cardiff Met need to quickly switch into that defensive mindset if they're going to repel the Pontypool drive forwards towards Cardiff Met 22. And Langdon puts boot to ball because he sees some space in behind. Is the 50-22 going to work? The bounce so fortunately not working there for Pontypool, and Cardiff Met will get the line out, but that was a really dangerous kick.
Yeah, that was a good nudge. I'm not sure. I think he would like to stack that a little bit closer. I'm not sure that's actually gone inside the 22 there. It might be just outside. That's what Sam Trod was arguing anyway. Yeah, look, it's Met ball.
Yeah, he was looking for that 50-22 though, wasn't he?
No, it was a good identification there, good nudge. He'd be happy with that. But yeah.
play out from your own 22 at this stage, Rory? Well, it's an overthrow, so Herbert's actually going to come away with it, running straight at Parsons, and Cardiff Met having to scramble back desperately to try and deal with it, and they win the penalty. Just as Pontypool got their tails up and thought, hang on lads, we're on for another score, Cardiff Met forced a penalty error, and they can clear their lines through Steph Crimp once again. Who've been some standouts from a Cardiff Met perspective then, Rory?
I think Zach Roberts has looked really good when he's come on. Terry had a tough, under a lot of pressure in the first half, and as the game's opened up for Zach Roberts, he's exploited it quite well. I think, as I said, Josh has done well. Evan Sheldon, you and Guy, Cannon as well. Geth in the rows done really well in the lineouts. So I'm sure we'll be happy with that. And there's another one, great take from him. So yeah.
Good work there from Cardiff Met. Good ball at the line out and a good initial run from Evan Sheldon, but it's another penalty conceded by Cardiff Met. Another unnecessary penalty, you could argue, Rory.
What was that for? I'm not sure what he's given that for, but yeah, I'm not sure Met will be happy with that. He had a nice little platform there to play off.
Holding on the floor.
Yeah.
Holding on. He's just like he wants to check you on the same wavelength as him still,
exactly.
Rory. He's making sure you knew what his call was going to be.
Yeah, they've done well to get over that so quickly there. So, yeah, another decent nudge actually in the end.
Low driven kick towards the corner there on that occasion.
Different one, but it's worked out quite well, and I can imagine they're going to start mauling this.
Well, who knows? Because last time they were in this sort of position, the line-out didn't function well.
Yeah, true.
So it means it gave Cardiff Met a bit of an opportunity to attack out, but on this occasion, they make sure it works. They go at the front, and now Herbert is with the ball at the back in the driving seat. It's spinning around really awkwardly now, and Pontypool break away now through Herbert. Offload good to Morgan Lloyd. He's been tripped just before he can get to the line. Another offload goes in, and diving over is Adam Stratton.
That's a great offload from Morgan Lloyd there. He's realised he wasn't going to be able to get to the try line, so he's just lifted the ball off. I'm sure Morgan Lloyd would have wanted to score back on Kincoid. Obviously playing there last year, so yeah, we gutted it. He didn't get it himself, but yeah, great try. But yeah, as you see, the maul there on the replay is so effective.
Oh, this is more reminiscent of a sevens team, isn't it?
Yeah. Chucking the ball around properly. But yeah, not much you can do when the maul gets going like that. There really isn't.
Well, and there is the try scorer on your screens now, Adam Stratton.
Yeah.
The open side. He went off for a little bit of a break. He came back on, and he's marked his return with a score. And the full-time result now reads Cardiff Met 24, Pontypool 64 in this WRU Admiral Championship fixture. Pontypool have come away with a resounding bonus point victory over the Cardiff Met Archers on Kincoid campus. But Rory, the Cardiff Met side can still hold their heads high because it's made of a lot of young talent that have got a lot of time to develop still here at the university.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of positives to take from that. Obviously, a few things to work on, but as I said, it's the end of the season for us. I think we'll be fairly happy. Yeah, a lot of positives to take from that with the line out, especially really effective and against such a good team. Yeah.
Now we highlighted standout players. Give me one who stood out above the rest and is going to be your player of the match.
Yeah, it's going to have to be Scott Matthews in the back row for Pontypool. His carrying was really influential for the team. He's such an explosive carrier. I'd say it'd be him and Jarvis. It would have been between, but yeah, top player, fair play to him. Did
he edge it for you on the carry front and leading from the front by example?
It was the footwork. I saw the footwork. I was like, yeah. The two carries from inside his own 22, taking them up to the halfway line. He's running lines off 9 every time. He's breaking a tackle. Putting front football for Pontypool. So yeah, my man of the match.
And if you had to award a player of the match to a Cardiff Met player potentially,
I'd say Geth and Cannon, I'd say Geth and Cannon for his lineouts. Really impressive all around the park as well. So yeah.
Well, he came under the cosh at pretty much every set piece, didn't he?
Yeah.
But kept going back with the same intensity every single time, which is kind of admirable, really, when there's so much up against you.
Yeah, I think none of the boys gave up, stuck at it. We knew it was going to be a tough game, and there's a lot to be said for that as well. Although the scoreboard might not reflect it. We did put up a decent fight, and yeah, I think they'll be fairly happy with the performances.
Well, you can see the Pontypool travelling support there applauding their side for that resounding victory, as I've already said. But this is one of the parts of the game that we love.
Yeah.
The fact that, you know, you always applaud each other off, that mark of respect, that even though you've tried to knock 7 bells out of each other for 80 minutes, you'll take 2 minutes at the end to show a mark of respect of, you know, Cardiff Met really did take it to Pontypool, and at times really make them work for a lot of those scores.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Met boys will appreciate playing against such experienced players and take a lot from it. And as you can hear, the Pontypool fans are pretty happy with their team.
Loud and vocal, and they have every right to be after that sort of performance, and that kind of shows exactly why they're going to be going up to that WRU Premiership next season, as they rightly should have done in their view many years ago, and they will finally be up there now.
Yeah. They get a photo, so I'll get the kids in. Lovely.
And again, extends their unbeaten run.
Yeah, really impressive.
To come away with 24 points on the board, pretty good going.
Yeah, I mean, playing in the champ is not easy, especially when you're playing away on a rainy Saturday at a place like Bedworth, Bader. So yeah, it's pretty impressive that they kept an unbeaten record, and the fans are clearly loving it. So yeah. Respect.
But how important is this league, on that note, to developing Cardiff Met players? Because I mentioned before the game even started that the last time Cardiff Met won, it was back in 2017. It was back when we had the likes of Alex Donbrand, Luke Northmore, Ben Williams, George Simpson, all playing in the side, Harry Johnston, and they obviously have gone on to enjoy really illustrious rugby careers, but they've all got to start down in the Welsh Championship as well.
Yeah, I mean, you grow up pretty fast playing Welsh Champ. You earn your stripes for Cardiff Met as well. Everyone at Cardiff Met has played in the Champ, and yeah, as I said, you grow up, you earn your stripes, and you gain a lot of respect from the boys and the coaches as well, because they know what it's like, they know how tough it can be, and from the players as well. I'm sure the Pontypool players will respect a lot of the Met boys for putting up such a fight, such uni kids.
Well, let's take a look at the highlights of that second half, and a lot of them will be filled with Pontypool tries, much like the first half. But, as we've rightly said time and time again, Rory, it was a great performance overall by the Archers, and we will get to some of their scores as well. Yeah. That is your man of the match, Scott Matthews, going over. And this is a great break.
Great offload out the back as well from the bus. Yeah, really impressive that. It's another effective move from Pontypool here. When they get the ball to the back and they get it going, it is so tough to stop it there. I think they know that they've scored as soon as they get that going.
They've quite clearly got a weapon on their hands, haven't they, in the form of that driving wall. And look, we've got another example of it now.
Yeah, and everyone who came on as well for Pontypool knew exactly what they were doing, slotted straight in. And yeah, they were quite relentless with the score in the end. This is a great transition. One missed pass, another missed pass. A nice show and go there as well.
Dion Smith with the show and go, passing off to Pat Lewis, who slid to play on the wing and slid in for a try in that wing position as well.
Yeah, great pass there, both the boys. Yeah, good finish as well.
Good effort from Josh Carrington going back in defence as well for the Cardiff Met side, and this is the reactions of Herbert as well, seeing that the ball was there, seeing the ball was available, and he went over for it's only his 6th try of the season, so he'll be very happy about that as well.
I feel like we're just watching the same same highlights now. Yeah,
this is the one with it. Pontypool looked like a sevens team scoring this try.
That was a seriously good offload off the back of that move, falling down and be able to flick it out the back. Yeah, as you can see there, they're all pretty chuffed for that.
Well, and as you can see there from that final try, they finished this game off on the note that they started it on. They scored the first try, they scored the last try, and the last try was just as impressive as all the other ones in that first half. Rory, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure to have you up in commentary. I hope you've enjoyed the match despite the result. I hope everyone at home who's tuned in has also enjoyed the match. I've been James Roberts. This has been Rory Morgan alongside me, and tune in again next time.